In this tutorial, we are going to define increasing and decreasing functions by using the property of differentiation of this function. Look at this description. You need to know the difference between increasing and decreasing functions. We will start with the increasing function. A function f which increases as x increases in the interval from x equals a to x equals b is an increasing function in the interval bounded between a and b. Let's explain further. For an increasing function in the interval ab, if we have 2 points, x1 and x2 are two values of x in the interval x between a and b. If x1 is less than x2, then f of x1 is less than f of x2. What does this mean? Okay, look at the graph. It is an increasing function and we take 2 points, x1 and x2, with the condition that x1 is less than x2. So this is x1 and this is x2 and this is the function f. So we will write f here. Okay, now we take the values of the function at x1 and x2. This is f of x1 and this is f of x2. Notice that f of x1 as a value is less than f of x2. Then this is an increasing function. If we take any 2 points, f of x1 will be less than f of x2. We care about the calculations and how can we find out without using the graph what are the values of f for any 2 points. Thus, it follows that f prime at x is greater than 0. So if we take the derivative and differentiate the function, we will find that this value is greater than 0 in the interval x between a and b. This is a property for an increasing function. So this is a graph of an increasing function. The gradient is positive at all points on the graph. Now for the decreasing function. A function f which decreases as x increases in the interval from x equals a to x equals b is a decreasing function in the interval ab. For a decreasing function in the interval ab, if x1 and x2 are two values of x in the interval x between a and b, and if x1 is less than x2, then f of x1 is greater than f of x2. Look at the graph in order to understand better. This is function f, and here we have a decreasing function. Now we will take any 2 points on the interval, x1 less than x2. This is the value of the function for these 2 points. This is f at x1 and this is f at x2. As you can see, f of x1 is greater than f of x2 even though x1 is less than x2. It follows that f prime of x is less than 0 in the interval x between a and b. If we differentiate this function, we will get a negative gradient. So the gradient is negative at all points on the graph. Remember, in increasing, the gradient is positive, and in decreasing, the gradient is negative. Okay, now finally, some functions increase as x increases in one interval and decrease as x increases in another interval. Look at the graph in order to understand better. Here we have, before the 0 it is increasing, and after the 0 it is decreasing. So this has 2 parts. We cannot say it is increasing or decreasing. This is the graph of a function which is increasing for x less than 0 and is decreasing for x greater than 0. At x equals 0, the gradient is 0 and the function is said to be stationary. So it reaches a point where, for example, this is the maximum for it. So this is stationary and then it goes down.